try and raw dog India,
it's gonna raw dog you.
It's gonna raw dog you right back. If you end up noticing that you drank that water, just know it's coming out both sides the next day. She was paler than white paper.
Literally, why would you say that?
Very soft.
Very nice. Can we just like touch each other?
I like it. Yeah, we should just touch each other.
We're just
the
gonna
whole
keep
time.
touching each other. Come here, let me touch ya.
You know what? I just realized.
Oh God.
This is definitely just us. I think anybody who's going to India or anywhere in any country definitely knows where they're going. It was just us. So I'm sorry if this is a waste of your time.
This week, we're going to be sharing our tips and tricks for traveling to another country, which is, you guessed it, India, because we're doing that really soon, and I have a lot of packing to do. Along with that, we're going to be sharing the mistakes that we made, specifically ones that I made that I learned a lot from that I would love to share with you guys to help you down the road. Let's get into this Half Past crew.
Welcome to
Half Past Job.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Job, where we drink job and spill it. We're your hosts. My name is K2.
My name is Hallie.
And if you can't already tell, I am Indian.
And I'm like really white.
And that's what we talk about. We talk about being an interracial couple. We talk about relationships, and we get questions from you because you guys go to www.halfpastja.com where you submit your own questions and stories. We release new podcast episodes every Monday at 7 a.m. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars and follow. That way you can get the notification at 7 a.m. that we posted. So settle in, get cozy, and grab your ja. All right, everybody, we're going to India sometime soon, and it's going to be a lot better than last time.
It's going to be a hell of a lot better than last time. All right, you guys remember? Cue that episode that we did sitting on the couch with no video because I was sick.
It was bad.
Oh my God.
Hallie got sick, everybody. And I think I hate to say it, but you do have to prep that you assume that you're going to get sick. Just in case, okay? Assume that you're going to get sick in India.
Like what? What do you mean?
Just like a cold fever, maybe some diarrhea.
I'm sorry. I'm not getting sick this time around. If I get sick this time around, I'm considering jumping off a cliff.
But like, I'm just saying, it's the water. You got to be careful with that. There's so many things that you got to be careful for.
Well, see, that's what I have you for, because you know the things.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just some person randomly going to India and like I have no idea what to expect. No, I've been once. I would say this time is going to be exponentially better than the first time, and I'm quite excited, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be a really great time.
And that's why we've prepped some things to prepare for when you go to a place like India. It doesn't just have to be India. It could be any country ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot different than the US of A.
It's a lot different than like just going to Miami or going to Texas or going to like
California.
New York. Yeah, it's like it's a lot different than going to one of those places because first off, the first example that comes to my mind is like all the plugs are the same here. So like universally you can plug your phone into a wall and like it won't fry your cable.
Wow.
That's number one.
Yeah, and you also, whenever you're kind of listening to this and we miss something, I want you to comment today if we miss something or if we say something wrong, because we want everybody to know the right way to do things. So we might be wrong. Who knows? Like we might say something you're like, that's not entirely correct. We want to know. So comment down below if you're on YouTube. Spotify also has ability to comment. All right, Hallie, what's first?
Can I just point out before we do this, we're like Sherpa twins today.
Ooh, very nice, very soft.
Very nice. Can we just like touch each other?
I like it. Yeah, we should just touch each other
We're just
the
gonna
whole
keep
time.
touching each other. Come here, let me touch ya. Let me touch ya. I'm gonna be doing. I was gonna say I'm gonna be doing this all the way to India. I'm gonna touch you all the way to India.
I mean,
makes time go by
there's
fast.
clubs for that.
Oh, we kind of broke this up into 2 different sections. So really preparing to go, and then we also have once you're there, we've got the stuff. So really the goal with this is to help anybody like myself who had not, I literally hadn't been out of the country. I've been to Canada, but it's like really similar to the US. So I'm saying, I could go somewhere in Europe and that's pretty different than here, or like somewhere in Asia, and that's very different from here as well. So I wanted to make this episode because it was just really heavy on my mind, because as I'm packing and prepping and doing all these things, I'm like, oh my God, this episode could really serve somebody. Like somebody who doesn't know what to expect. I mean, I'm lucky in the sense that, yeah, my husband's from India, but like, what if there's somebody who, like, let's say a group of white people going to India for the first time, like they're not going to know some of these things. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like this is a really important episode to make.
Or just like somebody who is going to India for the first time. Because I know a lot of my like Indian friends who were born in America going to India for the first time. Like that's crazy too. So yeah, there's a lot of things.
The goal is to help a lot of people with this one. So like you said, first point is research your destination. Research exactly in India where you're going, because when I tell people I'm going to India, they're like, oh, you're going to Mumbai. I'm like, no, not exactly. It's actually kind of village life. It's quite different.
Like Punjab is completely different than Hyderabad. There's like
everything's different.
All kinds of places. Like Hyderabad is very different than even Mumbai. Mumbai is very different than New Delhi. Like all these places that are like, they're just very different geographically with the kind of people that are there. There's like the North Indians, there's the South Indians, we got the Gujaratis, we got the Punjabis, which are also North Indians. But like there's like all kinds of Indians there. There's 1.4 billion of them, so you gotta watch out.
Well, I was gonna say, so like it's funny when not to that point really. I mean, kind of, but like people don't understand how big India is, because like when I tell people, oh yeah, I'm going to India, they're like, are you gonna see the Taj Mahal? And I'm like, I would love to, but also that's like super far away from where my husband's from. So no, probably not.
So like to give you guys a perspective, if you are going to drive to the Taj Mahal from where I live in India, it's the equivalent to driving from, let's say, Chicago to LA.
It's like a 17-hour drive. We mapped it.
Just about. So maybe Chicago to LA is kind of far. Maybe it'll be like,
I don't know. That might be kind of accurate.
It'll be like maybe like 5 or 6 hours less than that, but still, like it's pretty far.
It's really important to, and we'll get more into it later, like once you're there, how to organize things that you want to do on your trip. But it's really important that if you are going to any country, it's one thing to go alone, but like if you have friends or like a friend or like a family member or somebody that you want to go with, even two people going and like not knowing the way that a certain country is or like whatever, it's better than going by yourself. Because I can't imagine going by myself somewhere. Like I could do it. Like I'd be fine to do it. I'm independent. But at the same time, like I'd be like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed out. And like, especially in India, like there's so much, like you have somebody that drives you places. Like there are certain things that like I wouldn't know how to like just get somebody to drive me. Like I guess I would get like a Lyft or something, but like that. And then like, I wouldn't know to do a lot of these things that we're going to talk about. So like, I just think if you have the opportunity to go with somebody, like I'm lucky enough to, obviously that you were from there, that like, you know the things and your parents know the things and we're going with them. So like you've even said that you would struggle without your parents.
I could do it. I could go there, but I couldn't like do the things that I would do while my parents are there.
Bruh.
Like, it's different. Like it's just like you got to know people in India. It's not like you can just go there and like it's called raw dogging. You know, like when you raw dog an airplane, you just sit there, you don't do anything, you just do this. Like it's like a thing, I guess.
Oh, where you stare at the screen.
Yeah, you just stare and you don't do anything. And if you try and raw dog India.
It's gonna raw dog you.
It's gonna raw dog you right back. So I'm just saying, like, you gotta prep. You have to. So be careful.
You do.
There's things that you can plan ahead. Like you can plan your driver. You can plan, because you don't want to drive in India. It's just not a good idea. You can plan your driver. You can plan your stay. You can plan the places you're gonna eat, who you're gonna visit. All those things ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah. Next point, check your travel guidelines. We just found out that we had to do this thing. So first off, always have your ID, passport, get that situated, because that could take weeks to get updated or sent to you. Or like if it's expired and you need a new one, like, yeah, that could take a really long time. There are like emergency passport situations.
Yeah, you can go to any like international passport agencies, like in the main cities like Chicago, New York, big ones. You can get emergency passport in a day, but
you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
Ideally,
the line's crazy. I've had to do it once.
So it's because you
We
procrastinated or what
we
happened?
forgot that my passport expired and we had a wedding to go to, and we couldn't pass the border, so it was like, oh, we went straight to Chicago, got our passport, and boom, made it across the border.
With that, I want to note also that you need to when we got to India last time and it was just us two and we were like going through immigration, like trying to get out of the airport. They were like, "Hey, so where do you live? Like, where are you going?" So K2 had no idea. He's like, "Oh, let me call my dad." Your dad had no idea.
My
An
dad didn't know the
address.
address.
There was no address. And
Look.
we're like, and they're like looking at us and we're like, I'm trying to figure out like where we live. I really don't know.
Fun fact, Google implemented maps in India not too long ago. I mean, it was a while ago, but they struggled with directions because there was no street names for a lot of streets in India. There's just nothing there. It just said turn right in this many feet or meters or whatever it may be. And it caused a lot of problems. And so now it's different. Now there's like more street names, blah, blah, blah. So my dad never knew his address. He never knew what the address was, like house number, nothing. And I still don't think he knows what it is. Because when I ask him, he doesn't know. And I don't think we have one.
You gotta have something written down. My point being
This
with
is
this
literally
entire...
what he said. He said that it's like, as long as they know my name, the mail gets to us. I'm like, what? What does that even mean? Like, how? How does it get to you? Isn't there multiple people named your name? Like, what? That's crazy to me. So
I guess he's like famous. I don't know, man. That's
I don't
crazy.
think so,
If
but-
that's true, then that's crazy. But I think it's really important. Again, look at me. Look at me right now. You look at me too, even though I'm not looking at you. It's so important to know where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay? Because these people were questioning us, asking where we're going, trying to get this information out of us. And I'm just here like, oh, I'm visiting family. And then they're like, she's white. Why is she visiting people in India? Like, it's crazy.
You know what? I just realized
Oh, God.
this is definitely just us. I think anybody who's going to India or anywhere in any country definitely knows where they're going. It was just us. So I'm sorry if this is a waste of your time.
Maybe this is a waste of time. You know what? But just in general, like, well, shoot.
Just know where you're going.
Just know where you're going.
Packing. Let's move on to packing.
But in general, check your travel guidelines. My point being with that is you want to have your passport, you want to have all your goods. And now London, we had to do like that thing.
January 8th was active where you have to get a ETA, which is an electronic
Travel
authorization.
We had to do that just to even have a layover at the airport.
Even for a layover, you got to do that. So if you're going to London, guys, make sure you pay your $13 because they're $13 so important to that. Anyways, make sure you do that
BS.
if you're going to London. All right.
Next, still well in preparing to go, we have packing. So I kind of broke this up into do's and don'ts because I want to talk about them. Do pack light and flowy clothes. It may seem cold at night, and really kind of evaluate when you're going, like what time of year you're going. Like if we're going in January, then like it's going to be probably lows of like 60 at night and then high of like 85 during the day. But sun is out, peak sunshine, peak hot. What am I trying to say? You know what I mean? It's going to be warm and toasty during the day, but at night it could be colder.
When you're in a village, it's not so much when you're in like the big cities, but if you're going to a village in India, make sure you like cover up a little bit because you will get stares.
I did make that mistake one time.
Yeah, she did. She messed that one up.
There's a
But that's
video of
okay.
it actually that day that I felt uncomfortable. It was when everyone wanted a picture with me.
Yeah.
When we were at this mountain thing.
There was just so much white skin showing through.
and it was really white, you guys. I wasn't
White.
self-tanning at that time because I was starting to get sick and
She was paler than white paper.
literally, why would you say that? That's so mean.
But yeah, make sure you pack some flowy stuff. Make sure you pack some clothing that, you know, covers your skin a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be like long sleeve everything. Like,
Guys, you can wear whatever you want and it doesn't really matter.
that's not fair.
Yeah, no, not really. But women, hi ladies, wear like maxi dresses, like long flowy skirts, flowy pants, and then you can kind of wear whatever you want on top, like a tank top. I'm bringing plenty of tank tops, plenty of like short sleeve shirts. I'm also bringing like, you know, cardigan, sweatshirt for if it is chilly in the morning and at night, that sort of thing. So I would recommend, since you kind of have to wear like longer stuff on the bottom, make it flowy. You don't want to be wearing like skinny jeans. You can wear leggings if you want to wear like an Indian top with it, which is probably what I'll do a few of the days. So yeah, I don't know. I would say bring options for sure, but like packing, it's exhausting. I've been doing it like nonstop now for probably like a week and a half, and I've gotten me, and I packed all your stuff too. It was so much easier packing your stuff than mine. It took me like 10 minutes to do yours. It took me like hours to do mine.
Hallie's the best packer in the world. I miss things sometimes, like for example, pajamas. Make sure you pack some pajamas. I missed that once.
Or like when we went to Hawaii, you forgot swim trunks.
That
was
all
wild.
The places that I could have forgotten swim trunks, I forgot to take swim trunks to Hawaii. That's insane.
That was like actually crazy. But
bring medicine.
Your turn. You're just going.
You got to bring some medicine.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you don't do that, it's gonna bite you in the butt. Just make sure you bring some medicine, right, Hallie?
Well, I just had like a crazy fever, and I didn't have ibuprofen or Tylenol or anything.
Wait, we didn't bring any of that?
No,
then
I don't think I did.
What would you take?
Nothing. I raw dogged it, everybody. My dehydration and mono.
My God.
And you're here in the U.S. I have pneumonia, which is worse. Okay, I don't know if it's worse, actually. They're both
definitely worse. I'm just kidding. You had it worse.
No, I'm not. It's not a competition, but like, I'm just saying they're both equally bad. Okay. And like, I know you can die from pneumonia. You can probably die from mono if you don't like take steps to, I don't know. You can probably die from anything in this world. But my point being is that I didn't have anything. So I know now to like bring, ibuprofen, bring my allergy medications. Cause like there's dust and like that. I still have allergy problems regardless of like, I live in a home versus like whatever. I just have allergies everywhere. So I'm bringing that. Bring all your medicines that you have. That's kind of like a no-brainer. Like if you have medications that you're prescribed, like obviously take them, but like definitely bring your allergy meds because like who knows, maybe there could be like a new allergen that you're allergic to outside or something like that. And bring ibuprofen in case for whatever reason, God forbid, you do have mono and you do have a fever. So yeah, I don't know. Just
assume it's going to happen. Bring liquid IV.
Oh, this saved my life.
The reason we're not even sponsored by Liquid IV. I don't know why we're just talking about it without getting sponsored. You got to bring it. You got to bring some kind of electrolyte. The electrolytes there, like we got Gatorade there, but they're like this, like a full Gatorade is like small. This big. It's like tiny little. Anyways, and they're kind of expensive for the size.
It was like this big.
I definitely think you just bring ibuprofen. It's gonna be not ibuprofen. Bring liquid IV. It's going to be necessary. Got to drink a lot of water. A lot.
Not only like while you're there, but like you, like myself, I'm talking to me right now. This is something that I learned is that I do a really bad job of hydrating on planes because I'm not moving as much as I normally do. So I'm not drinking as much. So I think that started the dehydration right there. This time I'm going to be drinking so much that I'm peeing myself because I don't want what happened last time to happen again.
Yeah.
Because that was hell. Thought I was dying.
Bring your water bottle everywhere you go. Make sure you only do Bislari Pani, which is purified water, okay? Do not, for the love of God, drink any kind of water there at all. Even if they give it to you in a glass and they say it's purified, don't do it. Only water from the bottle that's purified.
Mm-hmm. And like bottle sizes, they're like liter size.
So it's fine.
They're pretty big. But with that, bring a metal water bottle. That's one thing that I pack that I bring because I just filled up. Like if we're going somewhere, I fill it up, take it, and it stays cold because it notoriously gets pretty warm. So that's definitely something important as well. And last point in do for packing, bring adaptive chargers.
Yeah, you got to charge your stuff. So bring the universal charger stuff.
You don't want it to explode when you plug it in.
Yeah, you can get anything on Amazon. They all work.
There you go.
Don't overpack and don't stress about not having enough. Because guess what? You can get it in India. It's there. Don't freak out. If you need a shirt, guess what? Most shirts are made in India. So you're going to find one in India. That's number one. Don't worry about overpacking. Actually underpack so then you don't have to. So then you can get stuff. There's some good stuff in India.
You want to do plenty of shopping because right now, at least for me.
Calm down about the shopping.
Literally, stop. Like, you were such an interrupter.
I am.
Bruh. He's an interrupter, everybody. It's his Sherpa. It's got him feeling some type of way, okay? He's all soft now, and he thinks he can just walk all over this place like he owns everything. Well, newsflash, you don't.
Next up.
No! Oh my God, guys, do you freaking hear this? Literally, all I was going to say is to add on top of that, you want to make sure that you don't overpack everything, that you want to make sure you have enough space in your suitcase so you can bring stuff home. And I have a list of people that I'm like, oh, I want to get them like a top, or I want to get my mom some jewelry, or like whatever it is. I want to have space for that to bring home. Now I'm done.
On the flight, they're long.
They're so long.
And you need to make sure that you're feeling cozy. Make sure you wear cozy clothes. Make sure you get up out of your seat, go for a run, go for a walk on the plane.
Run. No.
This is something I really need to mention. When you get off the plane for your layover, if you're lucky and you just fly straight there, good job. But if you're not and you have to have a layover, try and eat the food in the airport. Airplane food is great, but it doesn't do as much damage as normal food. So like actually eat.
Like, do you mean it doesn't fill you up as normal?
Yeah. Damage as in like.
I mean, they bring you a few courses.
Yeah, but like I still like to eat in the airport, even though it's like not the greatest food in the world. But when I eat in the airport, I always like fill up. I got to be full. There's a lot of people who say you got to fly on an empty stomach. Don't do that.
Ew. Are those like nauseous flyers?
I don't know. But I got to eat. I got to be full before I get on a flight.
I'm not that way. And see, I think that I just like let you talk me into that last time, that you were like, oh my God, I have to eat. You have to do this too. And I was like not hungry, but I was eating to eat. And I gained so much weight on that trip because we just kept eating and eating and eating. And I was following your lead. And I'm not doing that this time.
It's okay to gain weight.
I know, but I ate way too much and I didn't feel good. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of felt like shitty. I don't want that again. I want to feel good on this trip and not be sick. I just want all the good things, please.
The big mistake that Hallie made last time was she was afraid of the bathroom, so she didn't go at all. So she just didn't pee for 8 hours.
That's not true.
Yeah, you didn't.
Maybe like one of the flights.
That was
maybe
so bad. Go to the bathroom on the plane.
That's my problem. I didn't get up and my feet got really swollen. So like make sure you get up and walk around. Otherwise your feet are probably going to get swollen. And that sucked. So don't do that. My feet were swollen for like a day or two after that. And I did not like it at all. So there's that. And then, yeah, again, like the whole, what I said about the water thing, don't be afraid to drink water. It's okay to get up and pee. My thing is, it's not that I hate peeing in the sky. It's like using I just don't love using public restrooms. I think that's like a very valid thing that a lot of people can relate to.
Not valid.
No, it's pretty valid. It's pretty freaking valid. And I don't love it. So don't love going to the tiny cramped bathroom on airplanes, especially. Yeah, I don't love it because I'm going to take care of myself this time. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, everybody. I'm not going to be afraid to drink water. I'm going to get up and pee as many times as I have to. And I'm going to take laps around the plane. Okay? Because I don't want my feet to get swollen. And my last tip for when you're on the plane, one thing that you should do is go to the bathroom, wash your face before you go to sleep or take a nap or whatever you're doing. Brush your teeth. Make yourself feel hygienic, because I know it doesn't always feel clean being on a plane. At least that's how it feels for me. But like, don't be afraid. They're probably going to give you a little goodie bag thing that you can like go do stuff with. So don't be afraid to go do that, because it'll make you feel better.
If you hear somebody like coughing or something on the plane, put a mask on, because you do not want to get sick from a plane. It's just, I hate putting a mask on a plane because it makes me feel suffocated. But if someone's coughing or if some kid is hacking up some stuff, I'm putting a freaking mask on, because ain't no way I want to catch anything.
I just hate being stuck around people that are sick. So next on the don't when you're flying is don't stay seated and don't sleep the entire time, because nobody needs to sit and stay seated for like 9 hours at a time. So don't do that. Do not skip meals because you, quote, aren't hungry. And don't skip the water as well. And then also another tip, like with the whole getting up and doing the hygiene thing, you don't have to stay in the same clothes. Like if you have your carry-on bag with you, if you like have like another shirt you want to put on, or if you want to change your underwear after like however many hours, go do that. It'll make you feel refreshed and feel a lot better. Trust me.
All right. Let's move on to While You're There. That was good, Hallie.
That was cute. Sherpa twins.
When it comes to food, Hallie, guess what? You gotta eat. You gotta eat the good food there, but don't get the bad food.
Mm-hmm.
How can you tell the good versus the bad?
The water.
All right. The way they make their food, sometimes they will use just water from the hose, and you need to watch out for that, okay? If you're eating street food, I don't say no to street food, okay? Just look at them, ask them, are they using Vislery water, which is purified water? If they're using it from a bottle, look and see what they're doing and ask them if you can. That will really determine if you are going to be okay or not. Because if the second bad water touches your mouth, you're a goner the next day. Like,
do you want to give a little story time on what happened to your father?
it was bad. My dad drank water from literally a well, like not a well, but it was one of those aquifer things that you can do in the what's it called? The farms. We have a bunch of farms there, and so he drank water that was coming up from the ground. I don't know what his deal was, but he drank it. Next day, it was coming out both sides. All right.
For like 5 days in a row.
Just if you end up noticing that you drink that water, just know it's coming out both sides the next day.
And that's why we say to only drink bottled water. And with that, only brush your teeth with bottled water. I did this last time and you didn't, and you were still fine. But at the same time, I've seen so many people since then be like, yeah, if you're going to be traveling to a different country, I would just recommend that you use bottled water to even brush your teeth.
I would definitely recommend that now. I didn't do it last time because it was just like, this is dumb. But now I can't risk getting sick. I just can't do it. I'm going to do everything I can. Like, wash my hands, all right? Make sure you wash your hands a ton. Bring soap with you. I know there's soap in India, but just have it with you, even on the plane, even on all these things, like hand sanitizer, even like normal soap, though. Bring it with you.
Mm-hmm.
All foods are going to look good. All right. Plan on what you're going to eat the day before, because it will help you determine how much you're actually going to eat, because it's so easy to overeat when you're in India.
It's so easy because it's all so good. And especially because we're with your parents and your family, there's always food like ready. Like, I don't have to do anything. That's the thing. So it's like so much easier to eat and like get really full off of it. And then it's like, well, you're not even like, I want to look forward to meals when I'm in India. Like, I want to look forward to like, oh, I'm eating this tonight for dinner. And like, I won't even be hungry for it. And it's like, well, I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of takes the excitement away to where I'm like, oh, I'm not even hungry. Like, I don't even want to enjoy it. Whereas like, oh, I am getting hungry. Like, this is going to taste so good.
You need sleep. Make sure you get the sleep that you need.
I guess we're moving on to sleep, everybody.
You're going to be jet lagged. Remember that first day that we got to India?
We tried to tough it out.
And
that was so dumb.
I think we got there at, I would say 2 a.m. So then we got home at like 5 or 6 o'clock-ish. So it was morning. We didn't go to sleep
till like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.
No. We stayed awake, and then we fell asleep at like 3. Remember?
Oh, we took a nap.
We took a nap. 3 or 6 o'clock. We went to sleep, and then we woke up when, Hallie?
Probably like 7.
No.
What? I don't know.
We woke up at 3 a.m. the next day, and nobody got up until 6 a.m., which was my mom. And then she's like, "Are you guys awake?" Blah, 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 blah. And it's tough.
Don't do that.
It is not easy. No. Make sure you go to sleep the second you get to a bed. Get the sleep you need, and then it'll all adjust from there. It's just so difficult to like wrap your head around that.
Yeah.
Because you might be going to sleep at 6 a.m. You might be going to sleep at 1 p.m. if you get there at 1 p.m. Whatever it may be, just go to sleep. You'll figure out everything else. If you don't get enough sleep, it's just going to hurt in the long run.
Just go to bed, because you had a really long journey to get there. Okay. And it's not worth, like, that's something I think even like 2 years ago, I was like, oh, sleep doesn't affect me that much. But like now I need 8 hours of sleep or else I just feel like a zombie. And so I just want to stress the importance of like actually going to bed and not trying to tough it out and be like, oh, I'll have breakfast and then I'll stay up and I'll just go to bed tonight. No, don't do that. I was so freaking tired. We didn't even sleep on the way to the house. Like, we were awake during that drive. It was like a 4-hour drive and we were awake. How dumb. Why? Yeah. I'm not very smart. I could have been like, you know what, I'm going to go to bed. Instead, I didn't do that. And I stayed up and I felt terrible. And then our sleep schedule was messed up literally for like another week after that.
Not fun when you don't get your sleep right.
No. So moving on to experiences. This is the last thing we're going to talk about because this is a biggie. So probably the biggest lesson that I learned from our time in India is that you should not cram a ton of experiences into one trip. Yes, it's okay to do things, but you don't want to be doing something big every single day. And in the last like week and a half when I was really sick, we were doing that, and I wouldn't change it. I had a blast. However, I realize now that that was a lot, and we did a lot of driving all the time. And while you're sick and you're driving in a car constantly, that was pretty awful. And I didn't love that. And I'm not saying everybody's going to be sick either. I hope to God you're not sick if you're going to another country. Okay, please, I wish the best for you. But do not just constantly travel and go do big things. It's okay to do something like every other day or every few days or however much. But remember that it's also kind of a trip to relax, at least if you're like us and you're kind of going to be spending your time in the village. That's a really relaxing time. And that's really what we want, especially right now. I don't really want to go out and do a ton of things. One, because I did a ton of things last time we were there. Two, I just would like to relax a little bit more this time around.
I hate going anywhere in India because guess what? The roads are the worst. I was going to say ass. They're
Extra
so
ass.
bad. They're so bad. I can't stand going on like a long trip. We went to the Statue of Unity and Hallie was so sick.
I thought I was going to die. I didn't think I was going to make it back.
And
I really didn't.
She was in the back resting, meaning like trying to sleep. And this is all, she was just like bump, bump, bump.
It was
bump,
so
bump,
painful.
Bump, like just bumps all the way there. And it was like she was getting a concussion back there more than she was getting a good night's sleep.
That, and then when we were going to the airport, like on the last day that we were there, we were driving back. That was a pretty miserable experience for me too. Oh my God. I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how I made it alive. I literally thought I was borderline dying. So there's that. But point being with this one is that you can space out things you want to do. So maybe, like come up with a list of things you want to do. Like one cool thing that we were talking about earlier is going to see some historical sites or like something pretty cool. For example, you mentioned the Statue of Unity. That's really cool to go see. So like if you have the opportunity to go do that, if you're Gujarati, like go do that. It's awesome. But you don't want to do too many big things all within like a week or a few day span.
Something we haven't done that we really want to do is go see the Taj Mahal. If anybody can see the Taj Mahal, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world, and I really want to see it. But man, it is hard to get there from where we are. So I'm not sure if we'll do it, but if we can, if we have the time, we will. It's apparently life-changing.
Oh, it would be life-changing. I mean, I can't even imagine seeing something like that in real life. Like even the first time I saw New York City in real life, I mean, that was breathtaking. That's not a wonder of the world. To me, it is.
That was
It's the 8th wonder of the world, but it's technically not. But that was life-changing to me. So I can't imagine actually seeing the Taj Mahal. That would be insanity. I cannot imagine.
Make sure you visit different parts of India, like the city and the village. I think it's like pretty jarring, the difference of city life versus village life. And it makes you get a different perspective on life. So I really encourage anybody to go see some of the slower parts of India. I know everybody thinks India is like this crowded place that has so many people all the time, but there are places in India and like the smaller villages where there's only like 200 or 300 people living in the vicinity of miles. And so it's pretty interesting to see how they live versus how people in the city live. I think Mumbai is very advanced for their time, like, in terms of it seems just like the New York City of India. Like when you go there, people are dressed the same as they would in America. People are doing the same things they would in New York City. It's like a normal. It's just normal. And in the village is complete opposite. It's almost like they're living a full 10 years to 20 years behind. It's just different. But definitely encourage that.
One thing that, like, as you were talking about that, it kind of made me think about it. But remember we went to Mumbai on a Sunday?
That was insane.
Can you explain?
So, like, in India, you go to school Monday through Saturday.
That's
and
crazy.
You go to work Monday through Saturday. Like, it's not like a Monday through Friday like we do here. People work on Saturdays. And the only day you really get off is Sunday. And that means every single person and their mom is out on a Sunday. You don't want to do anything on a Sunday in Mumbai, especially. It's just a lot of people.
It was crazy. And that was my first experience being there. And I was like, what? Huh? This is crazy. It was crazy. My first experience being there. I was sick. You got a really good haircut there, though. There are lots of cool things to do in the cities. Just want to put that out there.
Get a haircut if you can, especially if you're a guy. They mess you up.
They slap you around a little bit.
They make you feel real good, though. Not like that, but, they do a good job.
Speaking of feel real good, could we get a massage while we're there?
You can try. Only the good ones, if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't want one of those. I would just like a classic massage.
Anyways, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that all of them? We do have a question from you all.
Yeah?
There's a question because guess what? It is time for question of the week.
No. I would love a massage. I just want to put that out there in the universe. I know I'm going to be getting another one here semi-soon, but I would love, especially after we've been on the plane. I mean, to decompress.
We'll get one in the airport.
Bit. No, ew.
Make sure you all go to www.com.
What?
Make sure you go to www.halfpastshot.com to submit your own questions and stories. Thank you for submitting. This person is saying that they're in a relationship with a white guy they met in college. And they're Indian. One of their biggest concerns is diet. He is vegetarian. She is not. And she's worried about that situation. She's worried about the kids that they'll have in the future, I'm assuming, and them not being able to eat meat because of him, especially, him being Hindu and all.
Wait,
beef and
I thought
pork.
he was white.
Sorry. He eats beef and stuff. All right.
Because he's white. Okay.
And she's
That
Indian.
makes a lot more sense. I was like, what?
And she is completely vegetarian. Okay. So she's not comfortable with the whole meat situation. And she is wondering if we have that problem and how we would handle it.
Well, I will start by saying, number one, I think a lot of people have that in their relationships. I mean, I know quite a few couples who have completely different eating. Their diets are completely different. What I would say to just, not get over it, but to approach the situation is just talk about it. Just talk about it. See, that was the most intimidating thing when hard conversations, or the thought of the hard conversation in my mind would come up of the differences between us. I was so afraid to talk about anything, whether it be, we've had that conversation plenty of times. Sorry, I'm trying to get my leg. Your hand. Stop trying to touch me.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
He's just so soft.
Yeah. You're the soft one, Sherpa Twin. But if you really care about this person, I think there's nothing in the world that you guys can't talk about. And that comes from me having gone through that experience and being like, oh my God, well, I don't want to bring this up because I don't want to have an argument. I think I'm really past the point of caring about it takes a lot for me to get riled up in a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And you too. I think that's been one of the biggest blessings that came out of us being so open and talking to each other about anything, is that we've heard some pretty crazy things, some pretty wild things come out of each other's mouths. And we've been able to at least work through it because we care about each other enough to work through it and talk about it. And so from there, I feel really comfortable saying anything, almost anything to you, with respect, but you get the point.
In my mind, the only reason we've made it this far is because of how long our relationship has been.
Yeah.
The reason that we were able to talk about it is because we did go through the period of badly talking about it.
We did.
We did have those higher pitch arguments about these kinds of situations. And, the whole future aspect of things, religion, the meat, all those things.
The meat.
The meat. Anyways, I think
a lot of meat.
When it comes to this and you asking us about this, if we went through this, we did not go through this exactly because I already ate chicken. I didn't eat beef or pork or any red meat or anything like that. And I still don't. So we don't really have that in the house. But if Hallie were to order it at a restaurant and bring it home, that's okay. I don't think that she even wants to like cook that at home because the
I
only
never
person who
have.
can cook it is her, or the only person who can eat it is her. So it would be like a little bit of a one-sided thing. So I get the perspective of where she's coming from. But for example, if he eats it for his protein or something like that, and he wants to make it for his kids, I get where that can get complicated. And I can see some arguments starting to pop up. It's all about having respect for both of you, and you just have to kind of work through it. There will be some compromises from you. There has to be some compromises from him as well. It's just it's not going to work out in either of your favors. It's just going to have to be a middle between you two.
Definitely a mix of both. But as you were talking, I was just thinking, like, we had to go through that period of us communicating poorly to communicate well. So maybe this is the start of that journey for you. I'm not saying it's going to go bad. Maybe you guys are both going to be really receptive. And there is sometimes that quality in a couple where they're able to communicate really well. We didn't have that at first, I think, because we got together young and like we've been together for so long. And again, that's what has made our foundation so strong. But because we had so many bad arguments and like we were so immature and we've again been together, we've been on a roller coaster about 50,000 times in our relationship. Not everything is always good, not everything is always bad, and it just ebbs and flows in different periods of life, and I think that's okay. But again, I think it could be a really, if this is like one of the first deep conversations you're having, I think that could be a really good opening door to the rest of your beautiful journey together. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you so much for submitting the question. Go to www.halfpastshot.com if you want to submit your own. And that's it, everybody. That's the end of the episode.
Aw,
Thank you so much. This is the second episode of the year. If you ever plan on going to India, let us know. We love to hear about it and how you prep for it. If you think we missed anything, which we probably did, make sure you comment below. We want to hear because that will help not only us, but everybody that is listening.
Mm-hmm.
So, a reminder, we love you all, Half Past crew. We thank you for your support. And guess what? We'll see you next Monday at Half Past Shot.
What I'm most excited for is that we're recording episodes while in India, and we may or may not have some people on.
Who knows?
Maybe.
We'll see.
I don't know. And then, guys, episode 100 is kind of coming up pretty soon. We might be doing something special for episode 100 that you just don't know about yet. You just don't know about it yet, but I can't wait, personally. I'm literally so excited. I love you. Mwah!